Welcome to another video about Project Zero's block functions. You might be wondering, why am I on Stargate Finance on a transfer screen to bridge across some tokens? I'm sure you all are familiar with the cross-bridge transactions. This example, what we're going to cover is tracking and monitoring of transfers across the bridge, namely on the Sonic mainnet network and Optimism. As you can see, you can choose different assets and cross that to a different layer 2 altogether quickly and cheaply with Stargate, which we all know underneath powered by LayerZero. Some of the transactions which I have already observed for a USDC transaction, one of them, we go to Sonic Explorer and I can see that someone made a transfer of 501 USDC using the LayerZero powered bridge. Could be Stargate, could be any other protocol. The important detail is which method, which event was called for make this transaction happen. So on going through the logs, we can see here there is one event called OFT sent with quite a lot of parameters. We have transfers as well. Seems like this is the most relevant one. And this particular transaction or transfer was done to bridge USDC to Optimism, which is around the same amount, 501 USDC getting deposited, getting retrieved at Optimism. Could be the same wallet, could be a different wallet. You can see how it used the LayerZero executor there. Let's go to logs again and just try to understand which events were called. Again, we see the same OFT received and all the relevant parameters. You can imagine the amount of protocols it actually supports, quite a lot, and it's growing as well. And we would want to monitor for many reasons. One is in total to see how many assets, which assets in total are getting bridged to which protocol, to get an alert that if there are no losses, which means the balance of the tokens of the assets are equal on both the blockchains as well. There's something we also looked into API on the Stargate protocol's GitHub repo, and you can easily also find the same definition which we have today, OFT send, which has these params, and the same thing which we saw even on the Block Explorer as well. Now, how can Project Zero help you in tracking that instead of doing 15 and 20 crazy steps, RPC calls, data cleaning and whatnot? And how can Project Zero can actually deliver you the exact data and stream from webhook or any other destination tools you may have, S3, any other database, any other tools like Kafka, Postgres, right to your stack. So we're gonna select Sonic here, as we just saw in the example, the transaction initiating from this particular block. What I'm gonna do, we're not gonna create a long stream, we'll just create something small. So let's start from some exact number. Let me put as 53, and let's end this stream at, let's say, 60, right? Super simple, easy. You can go continue, select the data set. Well, this definitely requires logs, as we also saw that. And what we have is a code, right, for tracking these transfers. I'm going to copy that to our code editor. So what we can actually see, to quickly go through the OFT ABI, just literally as it is. All the parameters we saw on the Block Explorer, even in the GitHub repo as well, it's exactly the same, nothing new, simple copy paste. And here what we are trying to do is decode this particular event, setting its signature, extracting all the relevant informations as well that we want, block number, transaction, timestamps, and all other details which are part and parcel of these events as well. And simply we are just returning that, right? So what we're gonna do is, let me copy this block number, and we can, even test the output even now. So I'm gonna click on test. So, instead of getting this ugly JSON raw output here, if we go to logs, which I can think could be crazy, we are just getting this for this specific type of transactions using this event, using LayerZero's bridge as well, and getting the, all the details which we wanted, the sender's address, of course, destination IDs, amount sent, amount to be received. Of course, it has some fees and things in between. So we know that the user receiver should be getting in the transaction ending with 8210, block number, and all the details. Let's do the similar thing for Optimism, as this transaction involved cross-bridge transaction from Sonic network to Optimism. So we'll again simply quickly copy the block number here. Let's start a stream from this block number -1, and let's end this stream at flubox later 645. I'm gonna go here, select logs again, do the same thing. Fun fact, the difference in these codes are bare minimum. Basically, the larger change is the API, and actually we have to just copy it, right? To get hang of it, either through Block Explorer or from the GitHub repo of your favorite protocols, use cases. We are literally doing the exact same thing, but here, of course, event is different. It's OFT received instead of OFT sent, and getting all the important information there as well. We're gonna copy the same block number just for a quick test result. So we see source ID, amount received, the address of the receiver, transactions, and all that data information related to that. As we see that the amount sent was this, and it's exactly the same. So that's a great news. That this transaction is successful, the balances are same. It's a great example what you can actually achieve as one of the use cases with block functions of Project Zero. We're gonna go next and select webhook. So maybe we can just run a little stream. I'm gonna quickly copy this endpoint here. Again, this is Sonic network, which is gonna send all the blocks on the transfers of these tokens, and we can see the stream. Well, apparently there were only too few blocks as we selected. This was obviously empty. In this particular block, there was no relevant transaction, no relevant data there. But in this particular example of this block, we see all the information, basically the example block which we tried. And that's how you can actually see all the streaming. Let's also create a stream for retrieval as well. I'm gonna use this endpoint, quickly add it here. That's my destination. All good. In few seconds, this stream should even initiate, and it started. Again, too small of a stream which we started, but that doesn't matter. But we can see the relevant information, all the transactions required or being done using the cross-bridge transaction powered by LayerZero can be tracked out here. So that's all for this video. Maybe we'll come back for the another one. I hope you check out all the other blogs and videos on our docs for more information and other use cases with the block functions. Thank you.